Hey guys, welcome to Split. It is 2024 and we didn't do an iPhone 15 Pro review, even though we did get one in the studio, but we were traveling, we were busy. Anyway, we got one. The team has hot takes about should you upgrade if you're on 13 to 15 and not 14 to 15, what features meh and what features are great when it comes to the iPhone 15 Pro. It is meant to be the most innovative iPhone and my friends are Team Android and Team iPhone. This is not going to be one of those videos, hopefully. But, you know, Androids are supposed to be risk averse to innovation. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, it seems there's a phenomenon that happens whenever I try to do Android versus iPhone. Something hits me. Everyone knows iPhones are great phones. They're awesome. They're good. That's not what this video is about. I'm not here to tell you what you already know. This video is about the nitpickings that made people say, do I really need that? Or, nah, yeah, I need that. And that's what we're getting into. But right now, let's start with, did I really need that feature? The meh. One of them is the action button, right? The action button is this thing that was touted on the Watch Ultra. You know, that was the first thing that came out on the Watch Ultra. You know, that really big watch, you know, that people pay a lot of money for. Isn't it banned now? I'm not sure. But let's not talk, that's a different video. The Watch Ultra is supposed to give you an action button which you can program to do specific things, and they moved that over to the iPhone 15 Pro. It was one of the main advertising campaigns. But over time we've used it and I realized a couple of things. Do I really need it? Yeah, okay, let's start with where it's placed. First of all, you took out something that was, I would say, culturally untouchable on an iPhone. The silence rocker, you know, because it's out of the way, you rock it, the phone is dead. You have to go out of your way to intentionally put sound back. But you replace that with a button that's supposed to make that faster in a place that, especially if you're right-handed, is a little out of the way, at least for me anyway. And when you want to customize it, the interface, God help me, looks like something that an Android user created, you know, and not even Samsung, not the expensive kind. Let me not name any brands, but it looks like one of the cheap knockoff, you know, UIs in an iPhone. It's out of place. You're sliding through to make that button customized to whatever you want. And don't get me wrong, it's cool. You can make it do multiple functions in that single button, but I think the placement and the UI and how many times we actually used it, not so much. I did try to use it as for my notes because I do take a lot of notes on the go, but again, it was just easier for me to do it the way I normally do it. Maybe, you know, I'm what do you call it? Neanderthal. I just do things the same way. Things hardly change. But that was the one thing I think wasn't so much of a game changer when it came to that phone. I mean, look at OnePlus. OnePlus decided to copy, decided to copy iPhone when they started and put a slider, even though it was vertical. They did come out of it, but now they've gone back to it. But iPhone has dropped that and jumped into an action button. I suspect maybe in the future they might go back to it, or this action button is here to stay. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Apple isn't the only one that does this, where you hype a feature and it becomes something you ultimately don't even use at the end of the day. I mean, look at It Shall Not Be Named. We got hundreds of megapixels. We can zoom into the moon, and it figured out it wasn't even the moon. It was a picture. I said I wasn't going to talk about Android. Oh my God.
A few moments later.
Okay, moving on. This next segment is about something, you know, my friend Jay has been talking about. In fact, he's been texting me, talk about the design, talk about the design. We're talking about the design. The design is one of those meh things. It hasn't changed, if at all. Change the feature here. I mean, move something slightly like the camera there, change an alloy on the side. One day is stainless steel, next day is aluminum, next day it's titanium. And that's it. That's one of the main mehs for one of the most innovative companies in the world. You should come up with a better design. I mean, take a look at this, for example. Which is which? Which is which? But if I take my hand off the top, and then you know because of the dynamic island that this is 15 and this is 13. But still, it's relatively the same phone. Okay, this color sort of gives it away. So again, something we'd like to see, hopefully going into the next year, is great refresh in design. But don't get me wrong, there are some Androids that kind of do it as well. I mean, look at the S Ultra. It's been looking like a block.
3 days later.
Okay, if I survive this video, because again, I'm getting a lot of text messages about, what are you doing, Ethan? What are you doing? What is this Android versus iPhone? That's not even the thing. You know iPhone wins. No, the other guy's like, oh, you know Android's innovative. Fine, I might not have friends at the end of this, but I'm finishing this video. One more meh, I think, on the iPhone 15 that we really didn't need. When you pop open the camera app and you're trying to frame a shot, in your zoom settings, there's an option to automatically, well, not automatically, manually adjust your focal length from 1x to 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, whatever. It just changes the millimeter, the distance in there. It's a cool feature and it works, but who needs that? Because most people, like the rest of the world, if you're not super photography crazy, you're gonna just frame the shot and take the shot. And you can just crop into the shot whenever you want and post. In fact, there's a neat button that helps you crop a picture into exactly what you want. Or you can choose whatever size it is because, again, megapixels don't really matter. You're just shooting and no one is really that nitpicky. I could be wrong. See me in the comments below. Bring a gun. Let's handle it. But that's one of the major mehs I have on this thing. But again, keep in mind, my Android people, you guys be coming up with some weird stuff in your camera features that don't matter. Because sometimes...
One eternity later.
Now we know the iPhone is great, to be honest. It is one of the best, if not the best video phone out there. When it comes to refinement, no one does it like Apple. It doesn't matter if that feature existed before. Once Apple gets it, they make it crisp like no one else. And when they do come out with stuff, it's always pretty awesome, even though it's been a while. So it's clearly not for the design, like I said earlier. So the main change here, which I even think personally, shoot me in the comments below, I think is worth upgrading for, is USB-C. Hear me out. USB-C is the biggest change. Forget Pro Video, forget the changing of focal lengths, forget what they've done with titanium, none of that. All that you can find somewhere else. USB-C going into the iPhone community helps you connect to external storage devices, helps you connect to an external keyboard, helps you connect to an external display, helps you increases your transfer speeds if need be across different devices, and you can charge pretty much all your devices that run on USB-C with USB-C, which kind of makes life a whole lot easier. If you're coming from a 12 or 13, chances are you still have a lot of iOS devices that are running Lightning cable. So maybe wait one more generation where all the other devices are moved up to USB-C. But other than that, if you're just coming into the iOS community and this is what you want to do, definitely iPhone 15 Pro or the iPhone 15 in general is where you want to be because of USB-C, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It is a great phone though, through and through. It's been awesome. All right, take care guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Innovation and doing great stuff. And Mikey missed. At point blank range.
I was not supposed to miss.
No, Michael.